Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 31st. In your first row here, we're going to look at your general energies for the week. In the second row, we're going to look at anything unexpected that could be coming in for you. In your third row, we're going to see what's coming towards you. And in your last row, we're going to look at any messages from your future self. So, Gemini, in your first row here for your general energies, you start off with this seduction card and this riches card. Clearly, there's a lot of abundance coming in for you. And when we get to the end, there's even some other good stuff coming in here for you as well. Actually, the whole entire reading looks very abundant. And, I feel there's a lot of kind of, I would say, tips for you here. It kind of striking me as like one of those readings where sometimes I think some of the readings are like the universe giving us tips, saying like, do this, do this, do this. And that's how you're going to get to your outcome. So I kind of see this reading as like a bunch of success tips for Gemini for whatever reason. But the seduction card I love because it is Jupiter in Pisces, and we finally have Jupiter finally retrograding back into Pisces, and it's going to be moving direct, more towards the end of the year, or I should say the end of November, and then it's going to officially, so in about a month, and then it's going to officially move into Aries at the end of the year, but right now it's retrograding back into Pisces, and this card's been coming up a lot, so I kind of feel it's like one of those things where the universe is saying, hey, at this time, while Jupiter is in Pisces, there could be a lot of benefits for you here between now and the end of the year, Gemini. And again, I think there's a lot of tips. Most of your tips have to do with the second row. It says, imagination clouds your judgment. I feel with Neptune and Pisces as well, we can all have really good ideas, but kind of the secret is we have to bring those ideas down to earth. But whatever your ideas are, very abundant. You have that riches card, so I feel there's a lot of abundance here. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles. So pretty much everything here says you have everything you need to be a success at this time. She has all the resources necessary to create a lot of abundance, but she needs to kind of use her resources. So that might mean that she might not have the money to do something that she wants to do, but she might have like the talents, gifts, skills, and abilities necessary to make the money. She might have some connections as well. You have the Three of Pentacles, which could say that you have some relationships in your life that could provide a lot of abundance. And we're not talking about love here. We're talking about all kinds of relationships, but maybe even people that you can work together with. So I'm a big fan of working together with other people right now. As I always say, I'm a big fan of, I always say teamwork makes the dream work, because I really feel we're in this time where there's like a lot of abundance available to us, but it's not, there is no such thing as one-sided abundance anymore. It's like, look at all these like institutions that are kind of collapsing at this moment, right? We're kind of seeing it happen in slow motion, but I believe that anything that's greedy, anything that doesn't do something to help other people, these things are probably going to be disappearing. And in the things in life that are truly co-creative are just going to be growing. So I would be focusing on co-creation. You have the Six of Pentacles as well, which is kind of like giving to the right things. And if we look at this row, if we go Six of Pentacles, Devil to the Six of Cups, I would make sure that you're giving to the right things. I don't even think that the devil has to be a bad thing here either, Gemini. I kind of feel like the devil is saying that, there are some things in your life that produce better results, and that's where I would be putting your energy in all areas of your life: love, money, abundance, spirituality, pretty much everything. And I kind of feel the devil is also talking about hard work. Your first card, that riches card, is Saturn in Capricorn, by the way. So, and sorry, I'm just throwing cards all over the place. Nine of Swords and Temperance are the cards that I'm throwing all over the place. But, Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn. Devil, sometimes I don't think is a bad card. Sometimes I just think it's talking about Saturn energy. And that's what I feel here, is that something that you're working on is going to require work. Duh. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Chariot. Definitely a victory coming in for you, but I feel like this victory is going to come in through going on some sort of new journey. The Chariot is about a new journey. For some of you, I actually don't think you're going anywhere. I think that what this is talking about is control. Again, Devil, Saturn and Capricorn on that riches card. There's clearly a lot of abundance in an opportunity that you have right now, but how can you shape it? I think of the Three of Pentacles sometimes as almost like a statue. And you see these people here they're both looking at this right here, but from a different perspective. They're looking at the same thing from different angles, so they might see things differently. I'd say if you're trying to grow your business and it's not going as well as you want, maybe you need a second pair of eyes to look at it from a different perspective, from a new angle, so that you can be more successful. Same thing with a relationship as well. I do feel some of you could be in a relationship and maybe you're not sure where it's going, but at the same time, maybe gaining a new perspective about the relationship could be very beneficial. And again, how you do that, I would say communication with your partner, or maybe just kind of seeing what other relationships exist in the world and being like, wait, this is actually pretty good. That could be a good thing as well. Sometimes I think, like, especially in today's day and age, sometimes I think we just need to stop talking negatively about the people we're with, right? I see it all the time where people bitch and complain and moan about the person that they're with. I'm like, okay, but it could be a lot worse. So it's like, I'm not saying that we shouldn't try to work with, but what I'm trying to say here is, I think we should try to work with the people we're with, right? And and if they aren't willing to work, then obviously complain and leave, right? But if they are willing to do the work, I don't think we should be complaining. Nobody's perfect. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Hermit card here. Could be a Virgo coming in for some of you, and I do get major Virgo energy here. Can we get a clarification on this? Devil. I feel like something needs to be organized. The devil sometimes can be something that is a little bit wild, that's a little bit crazy. You can see that these people here on the card, they have animal horns. It kind of represents our wild side, or our animal instincts, right? Which isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes, we need to get messy to create something good. They say you got to break a couple eggs to make a cake, right? So I feel for some of you, maybe you've been in the breaking egg stage where you've been a little bit messy in life, or you've been experimenting and exploring, which I think is excellent, a great thing to do. But that Hermit to me is saying, like, okay, order needs to come in at some point. At some point, you have to mix together everything to bake the cake, right? With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Empress. Very attractive at this time. I've been seeing a lot of Empress energy in the readings lately. If you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be careful. You have the pregnancy card coming up. I can see it from here and you have the Six of Cups plus this card. Again, if you're trying to get pregnant, then go for it. But if you're not, I would definitely be careful. Other than that, like I said at the beginning of the reading, there's definitely a lot of abundance coming in for you here, Gemini. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this water card. It says emotions are at their peak. I'm doing this on the day of the Scorpio solar eclipse. I don't know. I do feel kind of like, I don't feel emotional, but I feel the emotions, that exist. You also have this Chimera card. It says imagination clouds your judgment. So what I would say here is, I feel like you need to feel things in general, the things that you want to create. I feel like you need to feel how you want them to feel. But I also feel that with Neptune and Pisces again, and also Jupiter finally back into Pisces, Jupiter is very expansive, so it can take our dreams, it can multiply them times 1,000. And as I encourage everyone, don't stop that. Keep imagining the 1000x dream, especially if Jupiter is expanding your dreams or your dream life in your head, and you're having these big ideas and big plans. Keep expanding them. But what I would say is we need to start kind of like taking the steps as well, because we can just get too lost in the fantasy with Neptune and Pisces. The fantasy almost feels better than the reality. That's not true, but again, I think that's kind of how we feel with this energy, so I would make sure you're taking the steps. You have the Five of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Nine of Cups here. So again, Five of Pentacles is thinking that you don't have the resources necessary to do something. And again, I would say that, number one, fortune favors the bold. You have the Queen of Wands showing up at the end. She goes for what she wants no matter what. She just does it. But also with that Queen of Pentacles, maybe you don't have the money to do something like start a business or to create that career that you want or whatever. But this basically says do it anyway. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's a great book by Damon John, The Power of Broke. Same thing. It's like a lot of people who have started businesses, they started broke. They had no money. They didn't have anything. So, I kind of feel that energy here where there might be something you want. Could also be a relationship as well. But maybe you don't actually think you need what you think you need. And the only way you're going to figure that out is to explore it. You have the Devil here. We spent a good amount of time talking about this. I do feel for some of you there could be a Capricorn coming in for you as well. And here's the other thing that I'm getting is, like, if you're attracting love into your life at this time, I wouldn't really call this a love reading necessarily, but I would say if you're attracting love into your life, that it could be a person who has, it's kind of funny how it's popping into my head as two personalities, but that's not what I mean. This is not a toxic thing. I feel like this person is actually a very good person if it's a Capricorn or someone who has Capricorn in their chart. I think it's a person who kind of they just have like a work personality and a home personality, but I don't mean this in a bad way. I think when they're working on whatever they work on, they're just super focused and that's all they see. But the good news is, I feel when they're spending time with you, they're super focused on you. And maybe they're a little bit more fun, more lighthearted and playful. But it's kind of interesting how it's popping into my head because maybe some of you know this person from work, or maybe you've seen this person in public or something, and it's kind of like they have a public persona and kind of a behind closed doors persona, but not, I don't know, it feels like a good thing to me. So if you're kind of curious about a person, I would say go for it, because I think when you get to know this person, you're going to be very happy that you got to know them. You have the Nine of Cups as well. Keep wishing, multiply your dreams times 1,000, exactly like I said, because there's a lot of abundance clearly coming in for you. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands has been coming up a lot. Two of Wands is the card of progress and growth, so I feel there is a lot of progress here. You have the Six of Cups showing up right next to it. Six of Cups can be a turnaround, and that's kind of what I feel here, is that you're taking the lead in your life, and whatever you're taking the lead on, that's where, or in whatever area you are, this is where the kind of progress is happening. So this reading is definitely encouraging you to do that, especially with that Queen of Wands. With the Devil, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Could be a very independent person as well. It's kind of funny because the other thing that's popping into my head is, I would be careful who you surround yourself with, especially if you're getting into a new relationship, because, it's like I get this story popping into my head that if you're getting into a relationship with a person like I described, I feel like your friends are going to, like, there could be people in your life who are like, what are you, crazy? Why would you be with this person? They sound like a jerk and all this other stuff. But it's like, unless they actually know the person, I would be careful of allowing other people to ruin your relationships, which, Mars retrograde, it's like, Mars retrograde kind of sprinkles a little bit more gossip on our life, but it might not even be gossip. We could be talking to our friends about a new relationship we're in, and they could talk us out of it for no reason. So I always tell people, unless you're willing to invite this person or the people who you are talking about your relationship with into your bedroom, don't take their advice. That's my rule, right? It's like, if I'm not willing to invite them into my bedroom, then I'm not going to listen to what they have to say. I see this happen way too many times. I've done way too many readings over the years for people where it's like, my friends told me to break up with this person, but then I found out that they're actually a good person, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you should have listened to yourself, not them. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is walking away from things that no longer serve you. I kind of like this energy. I got to tell you, between the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Nine of Cups, to me, this looks like sticking up for yourself and also only engaging in situations that cause more fulfillment in your life. I think if we all did that, then we would all be more fulfilled. Of course, there are always things that we're going to have to do in life that we don't want to do, but for the most part, I think a lot of us choose to do things that we don't want to do. So by choosing to do things that you want to do, you're creating more fulfillment. That's exactly what I do here. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this pregnancy and wealth card, the peacock, and you also have this turtle. It says slowness and protection. So again, if you're not trying to get pregnant, I would definitely be careful. Very fertile reading here. And you have that seduction card, right? So be careful of that. But at the same time, I feel like you're building wealth slowly, but this is the best way possible. I know that everyone wants to get rich quick, but really, with Uranus and Taurus, there is no more get rich quick. And some people might not want to hear that, but here's the thing, is it's like easy come, easy go, as I always say. And the thing is the wealth that we can build under Taurus, and Uranus and Taurus specifically, which we have a few more years, so like get to work now, it's going to be lifelong. It's going to last for the rest of your life. It's like building and leaving a legacy. That's why I encourage people to get started on something right now, because it doesn't matter if it's successful right now, as long as you lay the base, as long as you kind of start the foundation now. Whatever you're building now is going to last a lifetime. And this includes relationships also. You have the Six of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles is kind of like a garden. You can see these plants growing in front here, and they do represent a garden. They represent needing to take care of an opportunity that enters into your life. You have the Eight of Pentacles, same thing. Eight of Pentacles is focus. He is working diligently on one thing. So whatever you are focused on at this time is going to be very successful. And again, doesn't matter what it is, love, business, or otherwise, I would be putting in diligent effort into the things that you want to see last for the rest of your life. Because again, this is extremely abundant reading, but it's something that you're working towards. And Eight of Pentacles is also something that lasts a lifetime. He's learning how to master a craft. But for you, I feel like you could be learning to master anything. Love, business, health, spirituality, pretty much everything is popping into my head for you. You have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups, I feel, could be a turnaround for you, Gemini. Six of Cups can be kind of a card of a gift from the universe, and I always say that when it shows up with the Nine of Cups, which you had before this card. So the Six of Cups can say that you've been bumping up against obstacles, and now obstacles are being removed from your life wherever you have experienced obstacles. So we're going to take a look now at this and see. With the Six of Cups, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is a card of taking some sort of adventure. So, and you have the Knight of Pentacles as well. It's like I feel like you're almost ready to jump towards something, probably something that leads to a lot of happiness, because you have the Sunshine card. It says new creative ideas, new ventures, and oh my God, what does it say? Oh, a fresh start as well. So I kind of feel like you're thinking about starting something new, and maybe you're worried that it's going to cause conflict in your life, but I would just do it anyway, whatever it is. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Two of Cups. Could be a love here that you're building towards if you want it. If not, I feel that you feel a very strong pull towards something. It's almost like you are being seduced by like wanting to start a business or whatever. Maybe you can't get something off your mind. The Two of Cups can be you and your higher self. So your higher self is guiding you towards something, and I feel like there is an attachment to your ego here. And I'm not talking about your negative ego. I'm talking about your positive ego, if there is such a thing, which I do feel there is. I know a lot of spiritual teachers say you have to get rid of the ego, but again, I understand what most of them are saying, but a lot of them that I've heard say that have like the biggest egos I've ever seen in my entire life. So, I don't think we have to get rid of our ego. I think we have to learn how to work towards, work with it. But this is something different. This is something that makes you feel alive, that you are working towards. Again, it could be like a business that makes you feel excited every single day to get up. And I feel your higher self is guiding you towards that. Here you go. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Judgment card. Whatever you're working on is like your true purpose in life. I feel like some of you could be discovering something that you can work on endlessly, and this could be a business, a project, could be writing a book, whatever you want to work on. I feel like you're discovering something that doesn't make you tired. It actually gives you energy. It actually makes you feel more awake and more alive. So if you're discovering that, whatever that is for you, I feel there's a lot of abundance, if I can't say that enough in this reading. Next, you have the Sunrise card. It says new creative ideas, new adventures, and a fresh start. And you also have this Hills card. It says obstacles to overcome. Again, they're just hills. They're not mountains. So don't worry about the obstacles. All good things kind of require us to overcome something. And you have the Knight of Pentacles showing up first in this row. The Knight of Pentacles sometimes I feel says like you need to get moving. He's got these empty fields behind him, and he needs to start planting in those fields. So you have that, the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess. I feel like you need to get moving. He really has all the knowledge and wisdom he needs. That's what these oak leaves represent on his helmet. So you need to get moving towards success. And maybe you're too focused on tiny little obstacles that could be in the way of something that you want. And it's kind of interesting because for those of you that are interested in love, I feel if you were to communicate with your person, if you're with a person, this is only, I have a very weird story popping into my head. Like, if you're dealing with a person long distance, Two of Wands, Chariot, I feel like if you communicate with that person, maybe you're worried about the distance, I feel that you will I feel like they have a very simple solution. So, maybe you need to open up to a person, but maybe you're also a little bit afraid to do that because you're, like, not sure if you want to invest in something in the first place. But I kind of feel this is encouraging those of you that makes sense for. I feel it's encouraging you to make a move. For others, I feel like you're about to get started. Next, you have the Queen of Wands. Be bold, be assertive, and also don't care what people think. She has this black cat right here. Black cats in the time of tarot were considered very unlucky, but she doesn't care. She just likes the cat. That's all that matters to her. So I feel like as long as you don't, I kind of feel like one of the side messages in this reading is as long as you don't care what the people in your life think, you're going to be perfectly fine. And you have the High Priestess as well. I feel you need to trust your intuition. Kind of interesting that the High Priestess has come up for almost everyone this week. I kind of feel because she is withdrawn in some ways. And this isn't the only thing that she represents, but she might be blocking herself out from the world. She has that that tapestry behind her. And some people believe that she has her back to the world, meaning she is kind of blocking everything out. And maybe some of you need to do that if you're like looking for some answers in life. Maybe you need to block everything out and go inside, do some meditation or, whatever it is that you want to do. Sorry, I didn't want to do that. We're going to clarify now with the Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction, needing to get moving. So, she is keeping herself stuck in prison, but she's not actually stuck. So some of you, I feel, could be imagining obstacles. I kind of said this where maybe a person has a very easy solution for you. I feel that here because, she's not actually stuck. And if she just asked for help, she would get help. So this doesn't even have to be love. This could be like in business. Maybe you're afraid to ask your boss for a raise, but maybe they're also perfectly willing to give you a raise. So you never know unless you ask. And I would ask. That's what's popping into my head. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Strength card. Could be a Leo coming in for some of you. I would also say that, whatever you're working towards, I feel is going to build your character. There is an element of changing who you are, but I feel you're becoming very strong. Empress, Nine of Pentacles, both, Nine of Pentacles, pre-Empress energy, Queen of Wands, these are very bold, assertive energies. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are either. I feel all of you, Geminis, are working on this energy of kind of, I wouldn't even call it a glow up. I mean, I think that's part of it, but I feel like you're becoming bold, assertive, and you're like developing skills for a lifetime. Very, very powerful. With the High Priestess, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, some of you just might need to retreat. Some of you might just need to kind of withdraw into your life, or withdraw and take some time to like rest, relax, recover, meditate, all that other good stuff. So there you go, Gemini. Looks pretty good. We're going to pull 3 yes/no question cards now. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. If you don't have questions, that's fine as well. I'm going to put all 3 together at the end, and we're just going to kind of do it as a personalish reading. But 1, 2, 3, feel free to pause if you need time to think of your questions. For card number 1, I would say yes, definitely. You have the Chariot. You have the Chariot twice here. Definitely a victory coming in for you. For question number 2, you have the 3 Cups. Yes, definitely a celebration, happiness. I do feel this could be a reunion for some of you as well. For question number 3, you have the 10 of Cups. I would say yes. 10 of Cups is fortune after difficulty. Putting this all together, I feel there is a victory coming in for you, and it's based off your imagination, like we said. I think the trick for you with this reading is super, super simple. I think you just need to start taking the steps towards something that is part of your imagination, something that you've been imagining as being really good for you. It's probably like a magnet in your life. I feel it as something that's kind of pulling me towards it, and I can't stop thinking about it. If I were to put myself in your shoes, Gemini, I can't stop thinking about whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And so it might take some time, but again, it's going to last a lifetime, whatever it is. So I would go for it. This is a really good reading. I love this. So thank you for being here, Gemini. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your week.